Welcome to Lake Life. This will be the next Kid of the Month that I'll be doing as an online workshop. So save the date for July 28th from 1 to 5 p.m. Eastern Time. It's a Sunday and everything will be recorded. But let's go over the products for Lake Life. And you know what? I love living in New Hampshire and we've always enjoyed the lakes, and this kit really appealed to me. So we also have a workshop guide that is included, but you'll want to use my cutting guide and follow along with me in order to get 10 pages. So I did like some of the layouts that are in here, but let's just go through the product, right? First of all, you're going to love the stickers, okay? They all have a matte finish, and you can see that the colors, we have sage, which is this beautiful green. We actually have glacier blue. We have Seabrook, which is a softer green. We also have that strong color of pine. Our brown is acorn. And there's a little bit of this orange that I'll be pulling in, which is kind of like, I think it's like a papaya or pumpkin. And I think it's pumpkin actually. And you'll just really enjoy using all of the stickers with all the different images and words that you can add. So you can be very selective in picking out the labels that you want to use on your layouts. Now there are beautiful pieces of patterned paper which are two-sided. So we have this one, and I always like that the zip strip right here has the featured colors as well. So we have these two patterns, and I really do enjoy using both sides. So I try to incorporate when I'm creating all the patterns so we're not sticking to the same look over and over again. So here's another great look of the paper. And this is the water. Very, very pretty. And when you flip it over, it has the paddles or oars for kayaking, canoeing, and things that you would do on the lake. I mean, this is a lovely collection. Look at that zip strip right here with the trees. Now in the workshop kit, there are some beautiful punch outs. So these two sheets right here, and we'll be using the hexagon sheet as well. So let me put that back together. And then you can always expect some exclusive pattern paper. In this case, we have this glacier netting, sage with white splatters on here, and we will be using the fish pattern as some of our base pages for 1 and 2, which is really cool. Then you also have coordinating cardstock. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4 Seabrook, 1 pine, and 1 sage. Now, in addition, in the workshop kit, you do get some card placements for photos if that's something you like to use. And these are the die cuts that are included in the kit. And I am using everything that's in here, and even some of the negative pieces. So you'll definitely want to have the workshop kit. So Lake Life also has coordinating cardstock, and I am using it as well. So we have glacier blue, 2 sheets of pine, 2 sheets of sage, 2 sheets of acorn, 2 sheets of Seabrook, and 2 of the white daisy. So this all coordinates so well with Lake Life. I think you're going to really love the artwork. You know I have to use more paper, right? I love mix-ins. So there are 3 patterns in here that we are definitely using. So let me pull those out into the front for you. So we do have pumpkin, and we do have pine, and I love the wood, which is the acorn color. So I'm not using this side. Pretty much I am using these sides of all these papers in mix-ins. Now when it comes to the stamp sets, the stamps are the Lake Life Scrapbooking stamp and thin cut, which has some really great sayings. Welcome to the lake, let's take the scenic route, the Lake Life. And then this is a really cute sign, which could be with the family, a little slice of heaven. You also have your Adirondack chair, the stones or the part of a stone wall, whatever you'd like to use this for, as well as the kayak, and of course your speedboat on the lake. And then when it comes to the thin cuts, these coordinate with it. I'm also going to be using this linen thread. Now, I really like how thin it is. The color will be so neutral and work quite well. So that's a nice little add-on. I didn't use any kind of gems or wood embellishments. I didn't have anything. One other thing that I'm adding, and I know many of you love using up your stash. You might have this. This is from, let's see, I can't remember, Evergreen Scrapbooking. So you can see I have my little bits and pieces in there. I love the trees, and we are using this for like a cabin look, cutting off a piece of it, and then you have all your thin cuts. Many of you have this already, so if you don't have the trees, there is this other stamp set and die cut that you can get on the Stampin' Up, on my Stampin' Up site. So it has all these trees. You can do this for sand if you'd like. You can see these little colors here, stamps here. And I actually put my thin cuts inside it. These are cling stamps, so they're rubber stamps. I've already added my labels to them. And that's an option if you do not have anything like that. You can also use Lake Life camping, right? A lot of you go camping, your kids go camping. The trees are awesome to use with this. In this particular one, there is also a mountain range. So that's optional for you. And lastly, this is, many of you have circles, die cuts, and this is the new Spotlight on Nature. And I took mine off and have them on my magnetic sheets. And there are a lot of circles in here. This is something that I will use again and again and again. So I wanted to point that out. This is optional, but if you have some circles, you have a Cricut cut, you can also play around with that. Just wanted to point out that you also have these inks that I'm using. So we have our Acorn, Glacier, Seabrook Pine, and I might have used Sage. If you don't have Sage, that's okay. You can use Seabrook or a second generation of pine. But most of you already have all of these colors, so that's kind of nice that we're using that again. And lastly, if you needed to use the pencils, like with the trees, these are this is dark timber and foliage green, a nice pine color green. I'm just using these a little bit with either the trees or the boat, and that's optional for you. Here we have our first set of pages, 1 and 2, which I actually used from the cutting guide. I'm actually going to be putting photos on mine, and I'll show you that to you later with my photos. But I do love that we use the fishing paper. And on the lake, this is the kind of thing that you would do, right? You would go fishing, swimming, whatever you'd like, boating, and these are your 2 pages. You can see here how we're using our sponging brushes. We have our brushes that we'll be using to add some of the color. I also took those fish that were the die cuts inside the kit. I'm actually adding a little bit of a shimmer brush in Glacier Blue, or you can use pencils, and then sponging in the Acorn. And I dug out of my stash these really bitty little pearls, gray pearls. I know many of you have stuff like this, and you're gonna be happy to use up some of your stash. I also use that linen thread as if we have a couple of fish hanging on the line. And for me, you'll be seeing me use this for my husband and my kids fishing. So I love that. Here are the cattails. Oh, I wish I had more of the die cuts. I really love them. Here I stamped with the family. The best days are spent on the lake, which is a sticker. And you can see how great these colors work together. We have Acorn, we have Pine, we have Seabrook. We have these great photo mats going. We're using Fishing Fun. But remember, inside the sticker sheet, let's pull that out again. Look how many of these images you could change it out to and use. Take a dip, make a splash, outdoors, day trip. So you always have options to change this up and not use the fish that way. But it's kind of fun, isn't it? Loved adding that twine, little fish here, just to pull that over. And then you can see how I've modified my page a little bit from the Close to My Heart one. On this page, you can see we use this circle, and I have a little bit of that glacier sponging going. We have some of the punch outs and all of our pieces. And then you have the opportunity to do a little bit of journaling here or here. I could have put this down here, but I really liked it as being part of this particular layout with the garn fishing popped up. Lots of great design work going on here and fun stuff. Here are the next set of pages, and you can see this is that hexagon punch out that we're using, and I will be filling this in with photos. And I just have my little tips about how I want to glue my paper down so I have access to it. I love the lake days and using those die cuts that are popped up a little bit. The hexagons are stickers that come in the sticker sheet, and you can see I've added some of that mix-ins pumpkin paper just to pull in this color, just to add a little bit more color. And look at how nice this came out. So I designed this page using the ducks. I don't know, when you're on the lake, I hear the loons in the morning, and I love that sound. It just makes me feel so good. I know many of you enjoy listening to the birds on the lake as well. And there's, of course, that's a duck, but you know what? Use your imagination. Love the little clusters and pieces of the hexagons over here that are just kind of like zigzagging down this side of the page with great photo options. And you can use a 6x4 flip flap for more photos, and I will be putting another photo in here. So we have our punch outs, we have our stickers, we're popping up some images, and I don't think I stamped anything on this page, but I just really enjoyed it. And I just added a little bit of that linen right there to make a cute little knot. So these are pages 3 and 4. I hope you like them. Here are pages 5 and 6, and this was really a fun look. I actually have them backed up on white, and you'll see that I've used my fun cutting. The way I love to do is creating a frame and then an insert and mix them up on both of the pages. It's really about using one sheet of paper but getting more cuts out of it that we can do it that way. Isn't this adorable? Look at this. Come on in. The water is fine. So here we have our mix-in paper, our mix-in zip strip, our regular paper, and creating this look. And here I have that linen thread. I just think I don't know, there's something about that thread that I enjoy using. I love the Adirondack chairs. And here's a piece of the negative of the die cut just sponged in, and you can sponge that in pine. And we have our little journaling area here, which you can still carry down into here if you'd like. And then we have this page, lots of 3x3s. So this is a great one to capture everybody on the lake that day, and then you can still tell a little bit of your story. I have a little bit of a journaling tag pulled in there, more of that linen thread right there to help it along. Oh, isn't that sign adorable? It's stamped in acorn, and then welcome to the lake is stamped in pine, and then I used my linen thread for the bow, stamped my kayak here, added more linen to this side a little bit. So we're using all the different pieces to create this fun look, and just the little details. You see this little oar, that's a sticker that I just popped up, and really just using our bits and pieces in a way that we can create this really fun look. And then I have that tree zip strip down here. And I don't know, I'm really loving this layout. Great opportunity to do more 3x3 flip-flops if you want, or just to do some journaling. But isn't that really pretty? So here you can see that mix-ins paper and pine cardstock, as well as the lake life. Okay, pages 7 and 8 for lake life. Now here's where you see those trees really adding texture and color and another element or layer of design work to this. So let's talk about what we've done here. I have some die cut trees that I've stamped, and here you can see is where I used that brown pencil for my tree trunks. I also stamped it in the background. I also thin cut the cabin. You can cut this off if this bothers you. I know it bothered my husband. He wasn't like a fan of it. But, you know, just have little smoke coming out if you have anything like that you want to do. But I popped up the title, Life's Better at the Lake. I just love that. So we are using seabrook, sage, and pine. Mix it up a little bit. Here's where you can see, I don't know, I'll get a little bit closer, but I used that rock stamp, like a second generation in Seabrook, just to add a little bit more texture. And then of course this is the negative of the die cut. And this is where I would do my journaling. That's why it's blank here. This is where I would tell my story. Love those Adirondack chairs. So you can see that water paper is down here. And adding just a little bit of those brown stickers. Make a splash, great layout design, plenty of photos here, opportunities for flip-flaps, and you know you always can add a Pocket Plus page as well. So when you're looking at this one, we have our stickers here, we have our mix-in paper here, this is our exclusive paper. Love the trees. Now here's the lake life, which what I did is I stamped it and then I stamped it again just to give it a little bit of a shadowed look. Love that. And then that's the boat. So we have that done in 2 colors, sage and pine. Love, love these. I can't wait to put photos on them. And once again, this is a sticker that I popped up here. I cut out this from the sticker sheet and popped it up for your kayaking moment, or just, I feel like I'm on the lake with these photos. I just love it. It's so relaxing. So I just want to go through some of the details so far before I show you the last page. We've used this stamp. We've used this stamp, this one, the rocks, welcome to the lake with the family. You could change it out to little slice of heaven if you don't want to do that. And now we're going to be using let's take the scenic route, but we've done the lake life and the boat. So these are images that you can use going forward when you scrapbook more lake photos. And of course, if you can get the die cuts too. Pages 9 and 10. So now you can see I've used a lot of strips of paper. Let's give some close-ups of the details. You probably can't see it, but I did use that wave paper and I cut it and sponged it with just a little bit of glacier, just to add a little bit more to it. We have the zip strip, torn paper here. Now this is where you're going to see me add those circles. So you can see one here. You can see it up here, and this one comes in the kit. And look at, let's take the scenic route. So here is where I used Seabrook to stamp the white cardstock with that stone pattern. And then I used Seabrook and pine to do that two-tone look on the stamp. I stamped the kayak on Seabrook paper. And then I'm adding this mix-ins paper just for a little extra pop of color, as you can see. And I love that I have these big photo moments so that you can do flip-flaps in either one of them. And then on this side, you can see we have all of our different paper. So you have this word paper, this is the paddle paper, the mix-ins, the plaid. This is also mix-ins, same kind of thing. And then over here is that glacier netting paper for a little bit of a different look. And it all works so well. You have your sticker hearts, another label, family fun. Like this too, just adding some of the little details that you can see here with the oar, the hearts, popping up these little bits of stickers. And then finishing it off with a little bit more circles, dovetails, and the sticker, sun rays, boat waves, lake days, and another boat here in the water. I thought it was just really fun to do the paper this way, and now we're on the back of, we're using our sage cardstock for this, and our acorn cardstock is actually what's the photo mats on here, just to pull that color back in. It's really beautiful. All the pages are gorgeous. There's just so many great stickers on here, and they're so colorful. And I love the fact that you always get these choices of which ones you want to use. But for me, I was definitely making fishing pages. So I thought now I would show you a couple of the pages with photos. Oh, isn't this just gorgeous? This is beautiful Lake George, and this is Mohican Island, and this is Fork Island. And Rick has been camping on these islands for the past 4 years, and he's really enjoyed it with his friend Ray. But this year we had Nick, our son, fly in from Texas and spend the week. His friend Pete was there for a couple of days, and this is my husband, and that's all they do. They go out early, they fish all day, they come back, they eat, they sit around the campfire, and they get up and do it again. But Lake George, he says, is absolutely gorgeous. So it was really nice to be able to put my photos here. And then I'll give you a little trick at the online event on how you can create your photos in these sizes. So remind me about that. Now here's the other pages 1 and 2. And this will follow along in my book. And I actually added a flip flap. So here are the 2 pages, and I did add another little line for journaling. I think that's important to do. Just like on this page, I definitely added some journaling about where they were, who was there, the date, the islands that they were on, and basically they are camping and fishing. So now it's the Como clan. So it's Rick, his brother Bob, Nick, and my nephew Steven. So we're going to put this in a flip flap because I had the extra photo, so I moved my label down just a little bit. This is going to sit on top of my page protector so it can flip open. And I always love to add little tabs to my flip flaps. I found these are geotags that I took out of my leftovers from Let's Go Anywhere, and added some pine green dots that I had, and in the 4x3 flip flap. Flip flaps will be available on July 3rd, once again, in 4x6, 3x4, 3x3, 4x4, and 8x12. But here you have it, right? Isn't that great with the photos? They look so great on the layout. So it's really fun to be able to print my photos in exactly the sizes I need. I use PhotoJet, and I have a class on that. If you want more information, reach out to me at lynncomo.com and ask me any questions you have. But there you have it. Fishing mania. That's what it really should be for the guys. I hope you like it all and will join me. What's the date? Sunday, July 28th for an online class, a workshop, to create all of these pages with me. As you know, I prep everything with videos ahead of time, so you'll be able to get a hold of those videos if you join and sign up for the $35 fee. And we'll have a fun day on the 28th. And if you can't make it, don't worry, it's always recorded and the videos will be there for you. Well, thanks so much for watching. If you have any nice comments you'd like to share, please let me know. And any information that you'll need will be on my blog, which is lynncomo.com, where registration will take place. Thank you.